Iron 2 is a Japanese action role-playing video game compilation consisting of enhanced remakes of the first two Wise games. Released for the PC Engine CD by Nihon, Falcom and Hudson Soft in 1989. It was released as Wise Book 1 and 2 in North America in 1990, and was a pack-in title for the TurboDuo in 1992. Iron 2 was released on the Virtual Console in Japan on October 16, 2007, in North America on August 25, 2008. And in Europe and Australia on September 5, 2008. Overview. Iron 2 consists of enhanced remakes of the first two games released in the Wise series, I, Ancient Wise Vanished and Wise 2, Ancient Wise Vanished, the final chapter. It was one of the first video games to use CD-ROM, which was utilized to provide enhanced graphics, animated cutscenes, a Red Book CD audio soundtrack, and voice acting. The game's English localization was also one of the first to use voice dubbing. The game uses over 500 megabytes of CD-ROM storage, including 43 music tracks, 24 minutes of character voice acting, and 20 minutes of animated cutscene sequences. In both games the player controls a red-haired swordsman named Adol Christine. In the first game he must seek out the 6 books of Wise. These books contain the history of the ancient, vanished land of Wise, and will give him the knowledge he needs to defeat the evil forces currently sweeping the land of Esteria. In Wise 2, Adol is transported to the floating civilization of Wise, and begins a quest to unravel the secrets of the land, and finally rid it and Esteria of evil. All English translations of Wise 2 were part of a compilation. No standalone version has been localized. Plot. I begins with a cutscene showing the main character, young red-headed adventurer Adol Christine, gazing out to sea at the storm wall which appeared around the island Esteria 6 months ago. Determined to investigate the situation, Adol sets off towards Esteria on a small boat. However, it is sunk by the storm and Adol washes up on the shore of Esteria. He is saved by a villager named Slav from the port town of Barbado. Adol recuperates in the home of Barbado's doctor and learns that Slav is both the doctor's son and the head of the town's militia. The militia was formed when demons and monsters appeared on the island, at the same time as when the storm wall formed. The storm wall cut Esteria off from the rest of the world and completely halted the trade of silver, which is mined on the island. Adol sets out to find out more about the island's situation in the largest town of Minya. There, he encounters a female troubadour with long blue hair named Rhea. Rhea is searching for her silver harmonica, which had been stolen, part of a rash of silver thefts that have occurred in the town. Linked with the thefts are sightings of a man in a dark cape. Adol then encounters the fortune teller Sarah, who tells him that she had a vision that a fiery-headed swordsman who would play a key role in Esteria's fate. She tells Adol of the 6 books of Wise, named after the ancient kingdom that existed on the island 700 years ago. The books of Wise contain the complete history of the rise and fall of Wise and will be instrumental in saving Esteria. Sarah informs Adol that one book is in the Shrine of Solomon and sends him to the town of Zepik to speak with her aunt Jeba to learn more. In Zepik, Jeba gives Adol the key to the shrine. Adol also meets the mayor of Zepik, and learns that the town's treasured silver bells have been stolen. The silver bells gave off a sound that drove evil away, and without it, Zepik is vulnerable to demon attack. Adol assumes a mission from the mayor to negotiate the return of the bells from a bandit group in the area. When Adol meets with the bandit leader Goban, however, Goban protests that his group only steals from the corrupt to give to the poor, and that in fact all of the bandits' silver possessions have been stolen from them. Adol leaves them and enters the Shrine of Solomon. A doll fights through demons through the Shrine of Solomon. In the lower levels, he rescues a young girl with long blue hair locked in a cell. The girl reveals that her name is Fina, and that a man with a dark cape imprisoned her there, but otherwise she has no memories about her past. A doll takes Fina to be looked after by Jeba, before returning to the shrine, where he discovers the first book of Wise on the lowest level. Returning to Minya, he finds that Sarah has been murdered during his absence, with the culprit being a man in a dark cape. Sarah had, however, already given her most important possession to a friend to present to a doll, the second book of Wise. He is then directed to the mine of the ruined village of Raston for the third book. A doll sets off to the mine and recovers that third book from its depths, and returns to Zepik. There, he finds Fina recovering under Jeba's care. Jeba and her family are descendants of the wise priest Tova, and thus Jeba is able to read the ancient text in the books of Wise to a doll. The three books narrate the story of the creation of Clara in ancient Wise, which brought great prosperity to the land. However, one day great hordes of demons suddenly appeared and attacked. An evil leader with 6 greater demons lead the evil forces. The people of Wise retreated to the Temple of Solomon, where they were besieged. During the siege, the twin goddesses of Wise suddenly disappeared from the temple, and soon after the evil hordes also disappeared. The 6 priests of Wise created the books of Wise and imbued with magical power so that one day they might guide a hero to save the land of Wise. The people of Wise then reasoned that Clara had been what attracted the evil and so buried it deep in the ground. Following this, Jeba tells a doll that the remaining books of Wise must be located in the Great Tower of Dam, a towering structure which rises up to the clouds. The tower is nicknamed the Devil's Tower, and it stands in front of a giant crater named Bagu Baded. The bandit leader Goban is revealed to be Jeba's son, and the bandit's lair was set up at the entrance of the Tower of Dam to protect the island after the demons appeared. Goban opens the entrance for a doll, noting that his lieutenant Doggy was also somewhere in the tower, having previously entered with other bandits in a successful attempt to destroy the monsters in the tower. A doll climbs the tower, but is soon caught by a magic trap which teleports him into a prison cell. The cell is occupied by Luta Gemma, a sleepwalking poet from Zepik who was captured by the monsters. They are soon rescued by Doggy, who is able to punch through walls with his bare hands. Doggy sends a doll to seek a man named Raba on the upper floors. Raba was a scholar visiting Asteria who was inside the Tower of Dam, studying its history, when the demons suddenly appeared. Raba gives a doll a magical amulet which allows a doll to bypass the traps of the tower. In addition, Luta is a descendant of the ancient wise priest Gemma, and a doll is given another amulet with the power to dispel magic seals. A doll climbs further, finding 2 more books along the way. Near the top of the tower, a doll discovers that Rhea is also in the tower, having let herself be captured and brought there so she could give a doll a magic monocle which would allow him to read the language of the books of Wise. After reaching the top of the tower, a doll finally confronts the final antagonist, Dark Fact, a descendant of the ancient priest Fact. Dark Fact boasts that Adol's efforts to collect the books have only helped his plan, and that once he took Adol's 5 books and combined them with his own, a great power would be revealed. The two fight, and Adol is victorious. In the folds of Dark Fact's cloak, Adol finds the final book of Wise. As Adol uses the monocle to read the entire set of books, a powerful white light fills his vision, and a feeling of serenity overcomes him. The monsters in the land dissolve into air, leaving it at peace. The words in the books begin to disappear and the forms of the goddesses begin to materialize before him. Adol rests and decides to tell Fina all that he has seen as soon as he returns to Zepik. Slowly, the white light envelopes his entire body. Wise 2. The story of Wise 2 continues off immediately from the end of Wise I, although the ending of the first game is slightly modified. The game begins with an animated cutscene showing a figures in a dark room talking to a glowing orb about a doll. They are impressed by his having conquered the Tower of Dharm, and decide to continue to observe him. The view then shifts to the final moments of I, with light emanating from the books of Wise and surrounding Adol. Adol then suddenly is flown high into the sky by the magic from the books, as Fina and Ria watch from a cliff outside the tower. The magic energy deposits Adol and the books of Wise in a flash of light in a field, where he is discovered by a girl. The view pulls back to show that Adol has landed on an island floating in the air. A flashback to 700 years ago is shown. The two goddesses of Wise are standing around a large glowing orb with their eyes closed, deep in concentration. Outside, a horde of demons lays siege to their location. A flying island is created, and soars high up into the sky, leaving a great crater behind. In the modern day, this island floats far above the Tower of Dharm. When Adol wakes up, he weakly asks the girl where he is. She tells him that her name is Lilia and that he is in Wise. Adol is brought to Lance village and recuperates in Lilia's home. When he wakes up, Lilia's mother tells him about Wise and the surrounding area. Lilia's mother also asks Adol to deliver a letter to the town doctor, Dr. Flair, discussing Lilia's illness. Speaking to villagers of Lance, he learns that demons appeared on the island 6 months ago, which forced the villagers to abandon the nearby Rastini mines. In addition, most of the villagers are aware that there is a world outside of Wise. Adol goes to the town clinic to look for the doctor, but the doctor is not present. Suddenly, a flying pigeon arrives at the clinic bearing a message from the doctor, which states that he has been trapped in the Rastini mines by a cave-in as he was picking herbs. Adol is asked to rescue the doctor from the mines, as only Adol could fight the demons inside. Adol agrees, and meets with the elder of the village to gain permission to enter the mines. The elder consents, but also mentions that he briefly saw two girls that resemble the goddesses while walking in the ruins surrounding the mines. The elder also tells Adol that his having possession of the books of Wise shows that he was guided by the spirits of the priests of Wise to the island. The elder reveals to Adol that there is a place called the Sanctuary of Toll, connected to the Rastini mines, which houses statues of all 6 priests, and that Adol should return the proper book to each statue in order to learn his purpose on the island. Adol sets off towards the mines with these 3 goals. In the ruins outside the mines, Adol discovers a staff that grants him the potential to use magic after he touches it to a statue of the goddesses. An elderly villager who witnesses this tells Adol that the 6 magics of the priests of Wise are still scattered around the island and will be of great use in Adol's quest. Inside the mine, Adol quickly finds Drive, Flair and digs him out, delivering the letter from Lilia's mother at the same time. Dr. Flair reads it and tells Adol that he was searching the mine for the ingredients to cure Lilia's illness. In the rest of the mine, Adol finds the herbs the doctor needs, as well as several magical spells. When Adol returns the books of Wise to the statues of the priests of Wise, the spirits in the statues reveal that demons appeared on Wise at the same time as they appeared down below on the island of Esteria. They also revealed more about the history of Wise, stating that unknowingly, the source of demons was brought with them when they created the floating island 700 years ago around the Shrine of Solomon. Demons were created as a byproduct of magic. The demon's master resides in the Shrine of Solomon, the former home of the goddesses and priests of Wise. Adol must find the goddesses and defeat the evil in the Shrine of Solomon in order to destroy all the demons forever. Adol travels out of Lance towards the shrine at the center of the island, passing through the glacier of Noltia and the lava-filled moat of Burnt Bliss, 2 geographical features created by the goddesses 700 years ago as an attempted deterrent to demons attacking the shrine. In the moat, Adol discovers the colony of lava, whose inhabitants are all initially very hostile to him. Adol is barred from passing the bridge out of the village, but, by using the spells he has learned, he discovers that the bridge keeper's son's Taf was kidnapped by demons in order to force the villagers to stop Adol at lava. Adol rescues the boy with the help of a friendly and intelligent demon named Keith, and is allowed to proceed onward from lava. Adol finally arrives at the village of Ramir, which stands right outside of the Shrine of Solomon. The past few months, the demons have been kidnapping villagers for use as human sacrifices. Adol meets with an elderly villager, Hadit, whose son, Sada, had recently entered the shrine in an attempt to save his kidnapped fiancée, Maria. Hadit gives Adol advice about the shrine and asks him to attempt to save Sada and Maria. Adol infiltrates the demon-filled Shrine of Solomon with the aid of a disguise spell. However, in the middle of the shrine, he is discovered by a dark-cloaked magician named Dallas. Dallas is able to see through Adol's disguise and curses Adol with a permanent demonic appearance. Returning to Ramir village to seek help, Adol is able to undo the curse with the help of a sacred cup that once belonged to the priest Adol. Any water put into it instantly becomes holy water, which allows Adol to escape Dallas' curse. Continuing his infiltration of the shrine, Adol discovers the hideout of some kidnapped villagers who had escaped from captivity. Lilia is surprisingly among them, having left Lance village due to dreams of needing to help Adol in his quest. However, Dallas once again makes an appearance, thanking Adol for leading him to the escapees, and turns everyone into stone, leaving only Adol unharmed so he would suffer mentally. Undaunted, Adol keeps exploring the rest of the Shrine of Solomon, and again encounters the friendly demon Keith, who tells him that Maria is being held for sacrifice in a nearby bell tower called the Campanile of Lane. Adol enters the bell tower, fighting toward the top, defeating the demon sorceress Zava and seeing Maria along the way. At the top of the tower, Adol attempts to stop the ritual, but Dallas appears again and ensures the sacrifice is not disrupted. Adol then discovers the Dreaming Stone Idol, an artifact that is able to reverse magical petrification. He also notices that Maria has disappeared from where he had just seen her. With the artifact, Adol is able to return the stone villagers to normal before setting off to the innermost core of the shrine. Dallas appears once more to block Adol's way, and the two engage in a fight to the death, with Adol emerging victorious. As Adol heads into the core, he finds that many villagers, all of them descendants of the priests of Wise, have come to aid him. He also discovers that Maria had survived the sacrificial ritual, thanks to a magical bracelet passed down through her family. Lilia also appears, and provides Adol with a ring that can break the magic barriers barring his way. Right outside the final room, Adol discovers the two goddesses imprisoned by magic energy. He is taunted by the voice of the Master of the Demons, who reveals that after 700 years, it has finally broken free of the imprisonment thrust upon it by the goddesses and the priests of Wise, and now demons would finally rule the world. Suddenly, Goban Tova and Luta Gemma from Wise I appear in the room. They had climbed the Tower of Dharm after having a dream in which the goddesses told them Wise was returning to the surface and they were needed. Goban provides Adol with a silver harmonica, the sound of which dispels the energy binding the goddesses. Adol is finally able to meet the goddesses, who are confirmed to be Fina and Rhea. Rhea explains the events that had led to this point. 700 years ago, after the demons had been defeated, the goddesses sealed away the power of the Black Pearl, a great orb that was the source of magic in the society of ancient Wise. As they had discovered, the magic from the Black Pearl had caused the creation of demons as a side effect. The goddesses also chose to stay behind on the surface of Asteria, and sealed away the magic-enhancing metal Clara deep in the ground, after which they went into a long slumber. Centuries passed and all was peaceful, but some Clara was accidentally mined by the inhabitants of Asteria while they were mining silver. This released enough magic to enable Dark Fact to break the seal on the Black Pearl, leading to the events of Wise I. The goddesses do not have the strength to seal the demons again, and must now rely on Idol to be their champion. With the descendants of the priests of Wise and the goddesses present, Idol is lent their power before he faces his final opponent, the sentient form of the Black Pearl, Dam. After a long battle, Idol is able to destroy it, wiping out all the demons in Wise. Idol reappears in the sanctuary of the goddesses, along with Fina, Rhea, and all the descendants of the priests. They all congratulate him and note that with the Black Pearl destroyed, the floating island of Wise was slowly sinking back to its original position in the giant crater on Esteria. Tearfully, Fina says goodbye to Idol, as the goddesses will once again enter a magic sleep to watch over Esteria and make sure the magic from the Black Pearl does not return. They slowly part ways, as the inhabitants of Wise prepare for a new era, rejoined with the rest of the world.